Hello beautiful people of the internet, my name is Jaden and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post a lot of lifestyle content as well as self-help content, so if you're into any of that, be sure to click the subscribe button down below. But as for today's video, we are doing the third installment of 365 plan. If you're not familiar with the 365 plan, it's essentially a challenge that I made that's 365 days long, consisting of 12 30-ish day challenges reflecting things that I've wanted to do in different periods of my life. And that's basically the gist of it. But if you do want a more extensive description of it, I do have this video that I posted. I also did a video talking about the first two challenges that I did. The first one was journaling for 30-ish days. Second one was writing for 30-ish days. And now we're on stretching. So before I go into the nitty-gritty, I do want to give a little bit of background. So when I was really young, I really bounced around with sports. I did soccer, I did basketball, I did softball, I even did volleyball for a little bit, even badminton, and honestly just random things here and there. But one of the things that I always wanted to get into that I never did was gymnastics. So I was really into flipping, really into being flexible and all of that. That was one of my dream areas to go into, I guess. I never did get to do that, but I did become a dancer. So I started dancing when I was 12. And for dancing, that's really late. Most people start when they're super young. So I was at a disadvantage from the get-go, but it was something I really wanted to do and I cared so much about. So I did do that from 12 years old up until I graduated high school. And I mean, I still dance, but not in I don't know how to explain it, a sport setting, a group setting like that. But like I said, I was at a disadvantage when I started because everyone else had so many years of experience. But two things about me. One, I am stubborn as fuck. So no matter how bad I am at something, if I really want to be good at it, I will make myself good at it. But two, I also kind of did have a natural talent for it. I had no rhythm, I will admit that. But I had a good memory, I could learn choreography fast, and I did have flexibility. It was maybe a couple days in, I could already do the splits, and maybe a weekend, I was doing over splits with 2 folding chairs on either side. That to me felt like this God-given talent that I just was naturally flexible. I thought it was genetic. I don't know. I thought that I had something really special going on body-wise. I don't fucking know. Because all these other people who had been trying to get their splits for years in dancing didn't have it. And I was oh, well, I can just do it. That must mean this is natural for me. But as I haven't been routinely doing all the stretches and all the leaps and turns and everything that we would do in dancing when I would go 4 times a week, all of that has really faded. And now I realize that flexibility does not come as naturally to me. Now, can I recover my flexibility a little bit faster than I think most people can? Yeah. But I can't necessarily always get my splits back in a day or two like I used to, and I get really sore a lot of times. I still dance a good bit. I have been learning K-pop choreographies for years. I almost always know a little bit of the dances that are popular here and there. I love to still practice my turns and kicks and everything, but I do think that with the loss of that going to class 4 times a week, I really just don't stretch like I used to. I really don't do those warm-ups. I mean, our stretches before we would start practicing the dances would probably last 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes, every time. They were a lot and they were really good, and I've tried to implement stretching again into my current life, but I really find it hard to find the time to just sit down and do stretches when it's not in that group environment. Yeah, I can do them while I'm watching TV or even when I'm laying down, because I know when I was a kid I used to sleep in the splits. I know a lot of people who dance did that. It was so stupid, but it worked. I would watch TV in a straddle, with my legs up against the wall. I would always find a way to be stretching and be working on my flexibility, or maybe just the choreographies, whatever. I was always trying to progress at dancing. And I don't know, I guess there kind of also was a loss of the need to keep that flexibility as an adult, but it does bother me that I can't do these things, that I can't do a kick that's all the way, to my face. I can't do a needle, I can't really even do a backbend anymore. That that is my problem area. My back is so not flexible. And that has always been a problem. That was never natural at all. But yeah, of course, every time I tried to put like effort into it, I was like, what's the point? Like, what am I gonna gain from being able to do the splits? What am I gonna gain from being able to do a really high kick? And it's like, to look hot, like to be cool, I don't know, like, cause I want to. So this was like one of the perfect things to add into this challenge, because I've never really given it a full shot. Like, I've never really tried super hard to get my splits back. Like, I can still kind of do them if I just stretch for like a little bit. Maybe they hurt a little bit, but like, I know that if I really want it to, like, I can make them come back. So there was always an excuse. There was always a reason why I wasn't putting in full effort, but because I have to find 12 things to do for this challenge, like that was one that just really came to mind. Like, why don't I actually see how good I can get my splits back if I just give it a shot? And what's crazy is that, yes, I did get my splits back. I have all 3 of them. My middle splits are like not 100% really where I want them to be. None of them are actually 100% where I want them to be. They're not like fully comfortable like they used to be. Like, I still feel the stretch when I do them. And that's something that I don't want to have when I'm doing the splits. I like just being able to like sit in it and not really be bothered by it. And I have like some days where it feels like that and some days where it doesn't. And that's something I've like noticed about my adult body. I don't know if it's like that for everyone, but like some days I'm just more, I don't know, like fragile. Like, my legs don't want to work like they used to when I was 15. I'm really sounding like an old person here, but I mean, that's kind of just how it is. I don't know too, because I know a lot of people say that like you're achier as you get older when you did more of that stuff as a kid. Like, when you were more flexible, when you did more stuff like dancing and gymnastics and stuff, then your body just like cannot take it when you're older. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's any scientific like evidence behind that, but I don't feel like that. I still feel like I can get the results I want. I just maybe think that I was not doing the right stretches and not doing them for long enough and not doing them as often enough. My stretching routine took like 5 to 15 minutes depending on how extensive I got into it every day. Per usual with this challenge, like there were a couple days that I did miss, and I'm not gonna deny that fact, but really like a one day here and there for stretching should not set you back and should not like hold you back. If you're doing it even like 80% of the time, but like 90-95% of the time, like you're fine. You're gonna keep your flexibility. That's how flexibility works. It's just like muscle with the gym. Like, you don't have to go to the gym every single day to retain that, which actually I didn't even think of. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I was stretching too much and I haven't given myself the time to like let my muscles adjust to that. But regardless, I got my splits. They're not quite where I want them to be, but I got them. And at the end of this video, I'll be posting the entire stretching routine and what it looked like start to finish, so that you can see like all the exercises that I do to help me. And these are what like everyone does to get their splits, all like the leg ones. I do basically like the full thing we would do in dancing. It's a full body stretch because I like all the other stuff. I like doing it for my neck and my shoulders and my elbows. Now, is that really gonna affect if you get the splits or not? Like, no. Basically everything from when you like put your hands to the ground, that's all when it affects your splits. But this is all stuff that we did in dancing. This is all stuff if you look up how to get your splits fast on YouTube, on TikTok, on anything, like these are all the basic things that you will see. I just think I didn't do them like as often as I said. Like, I know that in the past I used to stretch as many times as I got the chance to in a day. Like, if my legs could take it, I would do it. And I also did like miss some stretches that actually are really helpful. Like, someone said like just do kicks, like literally just try to kick as high as possible and do that like as many times until like you're exhausted and you don't want to do it anymore. Like, I didn't really do that a lot. I had a few days that I did that, but like, was that every day? No. And I've noticed that that's one of the really helpful ones for me. And also, like, if you can do your splits, even if they hurt, like just sitting in it and dealing with the pain, like obviously don't hurt yourself, like actually hurt yourself. But if it just has that stretch, then like you can sit in it a little bit. You can stretch a little bit. That's how stretching works. You just basically have to like pull that in a way that doesn't feel 100% great until one day it starts feeling great. Like, it's kind of fucked up when you really think about it, but that's how stretching works. So I can't say that I really pushed that because I didn't want to pull a muscle. I didn't want to hurt myself because I am a baby, and honestly I can't deal with like all of that hurting on a day-to-day basis. Like I need my legs to be okay. But if I was 15 again, would I have just been like, okay, we're gonna sit in the pain and we're gonna get better, like the splits are gonna be better tomorrow? Yeah, like I absolutely would. So I know there's a little bit more that I could have been doing, but overall I'm pretty proud of the progress, and I know that I definitely can retain all that flexibility that I used to have. Like everything that I used to do I can still do and more. It's just gonna take a little bit of time to gain all of that again, and this is actually something I think I'm gonna keep up now, which is crazy. Kind of the same thing that happened with journaling. I did it from time to time. Did I do it a lot? Like no, I really did not stretch a lot. I did do it from time to time though. I didn't think that me doing the challenge would really make me want to do it because it all comes down to time. Like I wasn't doing it before because I didn't think I had the time, and yes, I could dedicate the time to it if I was doing it for this video, but at the end of the day I thought I was gonna be done with the video and be like, okay, well now I need time to do my next challenge or like do something else. But honestly, taking the 5-10 minutes to stretch has like not been an inconvenience at all. It's been really nice. I mean, I can fit it in when I'm already doing a lot of other stuff. Like it's really easy. And outside of just flexibility, like my body feels better. I feel healthier. I feel like I can actually move correctly. I can touch my toes again, which is something that like I really don't like not being able to do. Not necessarily like flexibility, like being able to do the splits and stuff, but mobility is really important, especially when you're getting older. Like I'm not getting older yet, but like when I do get really old, I want to be able to touch my toes still, and it helps like every other aspect of your athleticism and honestly every other aspect of your life in general. When you're sore from working out, from running, from even just like walking, even just sitting in a chair all day, like no matter what you're doing, stretching helps you with those feelings. So I've definitely seen the benefit in these 30 days of doing it, and I don't think I'm gonna stop because I mean it's been probably a week now and I've done it every day since still, because like it just is second nature to me. So I would definitely say this challenge was a success. This is something I'm going to continue to take with me, and so far I think this challenge is going like exactly how I would want it to go. Like I'm pretty proud of it because journaling went so well. I journal all the time now. It's one of the best habits I have ever adapted into my life. Like I love it so much. Writing was such a fail for me. I hated the challenge. I hated doing it. It made me feel so bad about myself. It made me feel like a failure and that like I couldn't do anything. And then we come back to this month and stretching is another one that like I feel like is really good for me. I don't feel like it's gonna have the same exact impact that journaling did, but I do feel like it's something that I'm bringing into the future and like my future habits, my future routine, because it was so beneficial. So now it's like safe to say that the journaling one wasn't just a one-off, or it wasn't like me just riding the high of it being my first one. Like no, there are some habits that are gonna be really good in this, and there are some that are probably just gonna be fucking hell. I'm gonna try not to pick any out that were quite as bad for me as the writing one. Like I feel like I knew in my heart of heart that writing was not gonna hit like the other ones would, but it was just, you know, something that I was like I couldn't get out of my head, I couldn't let go of, and now I've been able to let go of. Like I said, that one kind of just left me a little bit down. It left me with like a sour taste in my mouth for this challenge. Even the stretching one left me a little bit like, I don't know what the word for it is, I guess like not as proud of myself as I want it to be, because I wanted this video to be a bit more of like a vlog throughout the month instead of it just being like this sit down talk with me video. Like the journaling one had to be like that because of the nature, like I wasn't gonna vlog every journal I did. I felt like that would kind of take like the personalness out of it. In writing, I just really didn't write enough to vlog it, but I feel like I did the stretching all this month, like to show for it if I was vlogging it. I just like, a lot of days I was just tired, I just like felt ugly, or I don't know, it felt like a lot of work to take the camera out, so I didn't. And I know that really bothered me a lot, but overall, like the this challenge of doing the stretching, it went really well. I just don't have like this beautiful, perfect video to show for it. That's okay. I'm like gonna try and work on making the videos a little bit better each time, but it is a process. It's kind of one of the challenges I want to implement later in the line. I don't know like what I want to do specifically yet, but maybe something around like just trying to film something every day, or just trying to like document something every day, like something like that, to where maybe I'm getting more used to picking up the camera, maybe I'm getting more used to like vlogging and stuff like in public, or like in situations where maybe I'm not as comfortable doing it, maybe situations where I don't feel like I look good, like any of those things. But that's all kind of a sidetrack and doesn't really have anything to do with the stretching. Just kind of like, I do like to talk about my thoughts regarding the challenge as a whole in each video and see like where I've changed, like where my opinions have changed, where like the self-growth is coming from throughout this challenge. Hopefully a lot of it is obvious, because like I feel like shit today. Like I'm in a really bad mood, and I feel like I'm still not letting that come across, because like I have been growing so much as a person, like growing so much in like my discipline and my like drive to actually do things even when I don't feel the best, or even when I don't think stuff is gonna turn out the best. Part of me really didn't want to do this video because I felt like it was just shitty now and I didn't do it the way I wanted to, but this is what we got. You know, I did the challenge. That's all that really matters. Like the main thing about doing this was so that I could have this growth in life, not so I can make a YouTube series on it. These are more so just diary entries. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will include the before clips, the after clips, like day 1, day 30, or day 32, whatever it is, the first day, the last day of the challenge. And then I will do the full stretching routine at the end. But for now, I'm gonna give my little outro. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave it a like and a comment. And if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in the next video. But if not, bye-bye.